Well, good morning, everybody. It's Hubby here with Just About Anything Garage, and we've got a nice rainy day here in Agawam, Massachusetts. It's comfortable though. It's about 72 degrees out in the shop, but it's just a little bit rainy. But we're back on the Ghost Project. So let's talk about what we're going to do. This is going to be the intro video of what we're going to do here. Talking about the next steps and getting her ready to go. And we'll go from there, okay? So if you remember, what we did was the last time we had gotten our clutch set up, all done, right? We had gotten our, you can't see it because it's in the darkness, but we had gotten the pedal all installed underneath. We got everything back up and going. We got a steering column in there. The seat's still out, right? Because we're working on the seat to get that ready, and we're going to work on that retractor there, but we're all ready to go with the next step of it. Okay, and so what the next step is, if you remember, we mocked up this engine right here so we could put it in and use it to align. So it's got no guts in it in terms of where it's attached. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull in this video. We're going to do it in two segments. The first segment being getting it set up so it's ready to go into the car, installing it into the car, getting it all hooked up to the drivetrain, getting the headers hooked up, getting the side pipes hooked up and installed. So basically what you're ready to do is fire her and ready to go. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull the transmission off. We're going to go ahead and pull the bell housing off. We're going to install a flywheel. We're going to install the clutch. We're going to get the clutch set up, put the bell housing back on. We're going to install the starter. We're going to go ahead and we're going to install the fuel pump. We'll install the oil pad so that we can put an oil filter on it. We'll go ahead and we'll put the transmission back together. Now we're going to have to get a shifter for the transmission. We haven't got that yet, but we'll go and we'll get that in there. We'll get it all installed in Ghost in the first thing and ready to turn the wheels, okay? And we'll do that, and that'll be our first part. That'll be video number 1 in the series for this. And then the second one we'll do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get her in run trim, meaning that the iron intake will come off because we're going to leave it there because it's very handy if they're putting it in and out. And what we're going to do is behind the hood, hiding on the parts rack, is an air gap. We're going to clean that up, get that all ready to go to be installed. We're going to get all the parts that are ready to go to make it run to get installed. So we'll get all the sensors in, the water temperature sensor, pressure sensor, all the stuff, spark plugs, distributors, spark plug wires, and we'll get it ready to fire. We'll plumb the fuel on that second set of videos and we'll fire her. And once we got her fired, once we've got all the front end set up with the water pump and the power steering pump and the correct pulley assembly, we're going to go ahead and turn her tires on that and take her for a little ride. So we'll make sure that we have good front and good back and good front tires. Now she won't be road ready because we'll have to do brakes. We'll have to make sure that all the lights are set up for that, and that'll be in a potential third video where we get that. So the hope here is before the snow flies, you will see this thing driving on the road, even if the road is just a driveway because it isn't registered. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to target to do that. That's what we're going to do. So knowing that, let's go ahead and let's go get set up and start to pull this engine apart and get the parts on it that we need to go ahead and get this going. So sit tight while we get set up and we'll jump right into this. Okay, we're all set up here and we need to break this thing apart so we can put it back together correctly. So let's go ahead and jack this up just a little bit. Get a little pressure off. We need to, there we go, just barely hovering. Pull the transmission off. Get our handy gun over here. Get these out. Get out of there. Yeah. A little crowded in here. We may have to go to Wrench City. Oh no, looks like we're gonna have to. 3/4. Be right back. Dumb. That was stupid. Go ahead and get it stuck in there because we're not thinking. Let's screw it in by hand. There we go. Get this one. Gotta be careful not to snap the ears when you're letting the weight sit on it. So that's why I'm gonna hold the back of it. You get the idea. So why don't we go into rapid remove mode of this stuff? Right. Come on, they're on those pins tight. Let's go get a mallet. All right, we got those off. Let's take a quick wire wheel to that crankshaft attachment, and then we'll open up the flywheel and see how it looks, see if it needs to be cleaned up a little bit or not. And we'll also have to put a pilot bearing in there for the clutch to get ready for that. But let's go ahead and get that all set up and taken care of. Move you guys around a little bit. There we go. Got that prepped. Let's go ahead and take a trip over to the parts table. The harmonic balancer obviously needs to be cleaned up a little bit. We'll take care of that. Transport over to this one for now. This is the clutch. And it looks to be in very good shape. It hasn't gotten any rust on any of the surfaces, so we'll be cool there when we go to put that on. Let's go check the flywheel. Okie dokie. Now we haven't opened this, so hopefully this will be just fine. Come on. Put tape on it. There we go. Should be fine. Get this out of the way. Oh yeah, crystal clean, wrapped in cellophane, cellophane, heavy as all get out. There we go. Brand new flywheel. Perfecto. Nice, clean, no caffeine. All right. Let's put that up. Let's close this up. Put this down like this. Let's find the bolt kit we have for flywheel or crank. Here we go. Our bolt kit. Make sure that you're positioned. Let's see, what size are we? Probably 9/16 or 5/8, 3/4, no, 11/16. 11/16. Let's find our impact for 11/16. We're going to put them on, just let them snug down when we do that. And then we'll come back with the torque wrench, torque them down in proper procedure. Okay. Get them set up. Let's see. Actually, let's put these down here and set up a chair. What do you think? I'm thinking that that's what we want to do. Sit and put it on there correctly. Let's sneak down here a little bit. Where's my lever? There it is. We're gonna go down. Think we should raise that? Let's raise that a little bit. Let's make it a little easier. Alright. Should be fine. We got the wheels right out. Now it is going to tip it. We know that. You're about to put more weight on it. Alright. Let's get that on there. Right here, I got it from Eastwood. It's professional torque spec. So we're going to set this .65. When you do that is you turn this 0, set the 0 at the 65 mark. At the 60 mark, that is. Now we turn till we hit 5. There we go. Okay, let's drop that. What do you think? Let's go ahead and get that a little bit more stable. So that we can torque that down. Torque that down. Right. See where we're at. I'm in the pattern. No, you know what we're gonna do? Let's do this in 2 steps. Let's torque them at 45 to begin with. Then we'll torque them. Okay, there's 40. Oh, just there we go. 45. Cross pattern. I just knocked that off, didn't I? Sure did. Be right back. All right, sorry, we're back. Disappeared there for a second. We're all torqued to 65 foot-pounds on where it needs to be for the flywheel. So we're gonna give that a quick clean, wipe off with, you know, brake cleaner to make sure it stays clean. And then we'll go ahead and might as well assemble the clutch onto that, huh? We got everything we need. Well, we got to put a pilot bearing in there first. So let me find the pilot bearing and do that. Let me go pull all that stuff back together. We'll be right back and we'll show you taking care of that. Oh, hello, Mr. Motorcyclist. Okay, so we're back here and we're doing a little prep work before we get this going here. We've got to get the pilot bearing in, and you know, we had a little bit of stuff in there, so we're using a Scotch-Brite pad to clean it out. And the pilot bearing should be snug. You're going to have to press it in, tap it in with a socket and a hammer. We've done that with green Scotch-Brite pad to get it clean. And go ahead and put a light on for you. It's pretty clean in there. You can see that. We got a little bit of high rise, so what we're going to do is we're going to use 320 grit sandpaper. We're going to go around just to make sure that it's smooth and that bearing will fit in there. The other thing that we had to do for prep work is, this is the Muncie M20 that's going out of it, that was out of my 73. You saw it on there when we were setting things up. But the pilot bearing shaft here was yuck too, so we took Scotch-Brite to that, and then we took this 320 grit, just put the 320 grit on the shaft and just turn the shaft around it, right, to get it cleaned up, so that the pilot bearing, this right here, will now slide right on and off. So when we go to do it, it'll be fine. It'll now slip right on and off and into that. So we're in good shape with regards to that. So the only question I have with this is, this has got a little play. I don't think it's out of spec for the input shaft play, and other than that, it was working fine. So we've gone and we've done that. So next up here, I got to get it a little bit more level, a little higher, and level it out, firm it, so that we can come in there and we can put the pilot bearing in and tap it in. So let me go get that set up, and we'll come back and we'll attempt to tap that pilot bearing in straight. This always makes me nervous, this part, but we'll see what we can do. So hang on, we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. I want to show you one more thing before we go attempt to put this in, and that's the direction of the bevel on the pilot bearing. If you notice on the pilot bearing, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but let me tip it up a little bit. This has got a concaved surface on one side and a convex surface on the other. Now, it's not very pronounced, but it's there. And so what it is here is, let's take a look at the input shaft real close, like that. If I put it on with the concave side pointing towards the input shaft, you see how it sets off from the spindles on that, the spindles from it. But if you turn it around, it cups in and sits flush with it. Okay, so that's what you want to do. If you look inside, also on the crank snout here, let's go ahead and get a light on it again. Notice there's a little ridge in there. Well, if you put this in here and you do that, that concave will go into that ridge, set into the back of the cup, and sit like that. So when you put your shaft in, your shaft will sit flush with all the splines. That's the word I was looking for. That'll cup when you put your input shaft into, after you put your clutch plate, pressure plate, and plate on. So we're getting ready to go ahead and do that. I got to get up just a little bit more, but I wanted to quick jump in here and show you that. When you put that in the proper way is to have the convex side, the side that's slightly in out, so it will cup and fit into the shaft, where this will then cup and fit into the input cupping on the input of the snout on the crankshaft. All right, so we'll be right back here. All right, so here we go. Oh, the nerve-wracking part. The only reason it's nerve-wracking, if you get it in there crooked, it's hard to get it out. So, let's go see what we got here. Looks like we got it in right, 'cause it's driving. A little more. A little more. Almost flush. All right. So we get that pilot bearing gonna go in straight. Let's take a look. Alrighty then. There we go. Pilot bearing's in. It's flush with the surface of this. Got the concave out so that the shaft will fit in there. So when you insert that, we should be golden and good to go. Alright. So let's get set up for the next part, which is to put the clutch and the pressure plate in the clutch piece on. And we'll then go from there. And it looks like I'm going to be swapping batteries before I do that. So hang on a bit. We'll be right back. All right. So we got a battery back. That's cool. And we did a little off-camera work. We got the clutch in. We got our alignment tool. Slide it in nice and easy in and out. We're going to go ahead and put the bell housing on it. Get that covered up. And then we'll be ready for the transmission to go back on the sucker. So let's go ahead and get that bell housing on. And we'll go from there. All right. Want you guys to see better here? Think that'll work, huh? Grab the bell housing. Actually, let's take a minute to replace the pivot ball in here because I got a new one with the kit. So we might as well use it. So I'm going to put this on the ground, get a big Allen wrench, and go ahead and see if we can't get that off. So hang tight, I'll be right back. You guys can actually see. Come down a bit like that, and bet you I'll have to put this on the ground. How much you want to bet? Is it the biggest? For sure it looks that way. Nope. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah, that's pretty in there. Oh, baby! That's snug. Let's go get the low key, give it a little tap. Thor's little brother Loki. Let's see what he can do. Wow, that's in there. All right, let me work on this. We'll be back. I don't want to break anything in front of you. Okay, we got it out. Took a little heat. So it's primarily all right, but we did get the new one. So let's go ahead and we'll put the new one in. We'll save this, it's certainly good. But might as well use new parts if we have new parts. Just took the good old trusty torch to get her warmed up and get her going. Put the new ball in. A good tweak. Okay. New ball on. Now, I've put the throw arms on at the same time as that. So let's go ahead and grab the arm and the throw-off bearing. Go mount the arm up. Just go just like this. Bink. Right into the socket with the clip, just like that. So there it is. Slides right in. Now let's take the throw bearing. Throw bearing has a clip on it too, so we're going to line the thing under the clip. Slide it in there. Once we line the squares up. Got two flats on the side. That the bearing wants to line with. There we go. Bingo. There we go. Screw all bearings in. Now, go ahead. Line this up. I should be able to get around the hope. All right, so let's make sure we're aligned. We are. We're good in the line. Pull our alignment tool out. Should be going anyway. Oh, you know what we need to do first? Let's put that back in because we need to torque these. We haven't done that actually, what we're going to do first is we're going to loosen those just a little bit. Make sure we got plenty of play on that alignment tool. And yeah, see that like that. Jiggle that a little bit. Make sure that we're good and loose. There we go. All right. Go ahead and tighten them. All right. Now let's look up our torque reading on those. We'll see. Ooh, there we go. Torque reading for small block Chevy clutch. Let's see. Torquing ready for clutch plate bolts. Chevy engine is 35 foot-pounds. go. Another set of sockets. Where's my 7/16? Half 7/16 right there. Look at that. Half-inch drive, pop it right on there. Set this to 25. Right. Yep. Gonna need an extension on that one, I think. Okay. Oh, let's get an extension on all of these because they're kind of rubbing. Set that off. All right, that should be better. There we go. There we go. There we go. Go back to this one. This one be difficult. There we go. That one's actually there. Let's check this one. There we go. Everybody's torqued. All right. Let's set this up a little bit better because we're coming up on transmission time. And I'm thinking we're going to want to do that low. All right. Let's pull this one, this a little bit. Let's turn it like that. Thinking we're going to need a block in the back here. Back of the bell housing. Pop that up a little bit. Let me go grab a block and we'll get everything set up. We'll be right back. Hang on. All right, guys, we're back. And I had to apologize. We lost film. I had taped getting the transmission onto this and it vanished. Okay, so here's, I'm going to tell you what we did post. What we did was I got a helper. I had put it on a jack to level it up. We got it in all the way. And what we need to do is we needed to line the splines up. So I had it in gear. We took the rear of the thing and we turn it a little bit, just like this. Right, and that spline would rotate. We got it lined up and we shimmied it in. Now the way that we got it to come all the way in was I was able to thread the bolts and I just used an X pattern. I thread this up a little bit, then I go down to the bottom corner, it would pull in a little bit. I come over to here and then go over there, we'll pull in a little more, and we just rotate it back and forth, and we just gently slided it in until everything's seated. So now everything's on here, it's all seated, the throw bearing and everything is set for the clutch, ready to go and take the next step. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some more parts on this thing. We're going to get it ready to drop into Ghost. Over here, we'll get Ghost's exhaust system on, we'll get the transmission mount up, we'll get everything ready, everything all aligned, and then we'll go and we'll put the operating parts on it, and we'll get her ready to go ahead and fire up. So I apologize for missing that film. I don't know what happened. I went to transfer it, and it transferred into nowhere, into the bit bucket. So we did get it on, it did seat, we just went back and forth on an X pattern to pull it up, we torqued everything up, we're in good shape. So we're going to go on and we're going to move to the next step. So stay tuned.